Okay, hi Iris. I'm just going to try and show you how to use a Google form or to make a Google form because I find them really, really useful. So I'm in my Google Drive at the moment. I'm not sure if you have one, but um, they're really, really easy to sort of set up a Google Drive. I've got mine linked to my school account, which makes everything sort of easier and less chance of you sending your own personal email to the students. So try and set up a Google Drive with your school address is my advice. Once you've done that, to make a Google form, you can click New and then go down to More and Google Forms. And I'm just going to start with a blank form like this. So this is going to open a really, really simple blank form, and you can sort of do a number of things. So my best advice is just to play about with it, but I'll just show you a few simple things. So let's say you wanted to make I want to make a little quiz for the next lesson for my year 12s, which is on the photoelectric effect quick quiz. Okay, so that will copy down here. Form description, complete after you've worked through the lesson. PowerPoint. So here you can start to add your questions. So I'll just show you a couple of simple examples. So question 1, I shouldn't have picked such a difficult topic, the photoelectric effect, but let's say you wanted to ask them a multiple choice question. What is the particle, bad questions, but electron, proton, neutron, and you've got yourself a multiple choice question. So you can have other options. I'll show you these in a minute, but that's a multiple choice one. Now, for the moment, this is just what we call a Google form. We want to turn it into something that's able to mark itself, or you can put in the right answers. So you want to go to settings, and you want to go to quizzes, and you want to select make this a quiz. And this is assigned points values to questions and allows auto marking. We'll come back to the other options later, but making it a quiz means that you will see this answer key button. If you press that, you can click what the right answer is, and you can say that this question is worth 1 point. You can also add some feedback. So if they get the answer wrong, you can type them some feedback. Listen, the answer is electron because if it's a correct answer, you can press something like well done. If there's maybe, if you know of a YouTube video that explains this, you can put a link to a YouTube video that is on this topic that they can watch if they've got the answer wrong in there. Or this one is a link. So let's say there's a website which explains this. You can click this button and put in a link. So at the moment, this is a 1 mark question, 1 point. The correct answer I put in is electron. If the student was to get the question right, they're going to get a well done. If they're going to get it wrong, they're going to get this feedback here. So that's question 1. I'm happy with that. If you want to make it required, so they have to answer it, you can just flick this button here. Let's add another question. So question 2. Let's say this time we want to add, let's say we've got a question which has got more than one answer, more than one correct answer. So we could have checkboxes. So this is obviously totally ridiculous, which of these are types of cheese? See, it's lunchtime. Cheddar, mozzarella, and then you'd probably want to put some wrong answers in. Bread. Okay, so there's 2 correct and 2 wrong. So you might want to put the wrong answer and reorder them or whatever you want to do. In this case, your answer key, there's 2 right answers, so cheddar and mozzarella. And let's make it out of 2 because there's 2 right answer. Add feedback. So if they've got the answer wrong, you might just want to type in cheddar and mozzarella are types of cheese. And if they get it correct, well done. You know that bread is not cheese. Okay, hopefully you're getting this, even though these examples are a bit ridiculous. There's lots of other ones. So for example, I won't do some more, but I'll just show you them here. The ones I use a lot: short answer, paragraph. Sorry about these clicks. Another one that I use with the A-level physicists is the file upload. So if you want them, so they say you want them to do a calculation. This is when I've used this, a calculation, and you want them to upload a photograph of their calculation. You can select file upload, and you can select, you might want to give it a question name. This is something, so you might want to say, I haven't clicked that because I just want to make it as easy as possible to submit what they've got, but you could also say, I only want PDFs. Maximum number of files, so let's say, if they're likely to go into 2 pages, you might want to give them more than one file, or if you just want, it's a small calculation, 1 file, 1 page. And in this case, the answer key, you can still say it's a 4-mark calculation. You can still say it's a 4-mark, it's given 4 points. And you can add feedback yourself here. But what you will do is, okay, so this is where we come to the other bit, the other trick. If you go back to settings up here, and it's quizzes, if you press the release mark, right, if it's immediately after each submission, you won't be able to mark it. So if you just want it to release, you want it all done automatically, send it out to them, you'd have it immediately after each submission. But if you want to mark it yourself, say you want to mark the longer answer questions, you can click later after manual review, and that will automatically ask the students for an email so that they can get their answers. Now, you might want to put in the presentation confirmation message saying, thank you, I will mark question 4 and then release feedback. And release your feedback. Okay, so that's what they will get once they've submitted their quiz. Okay, so let's press save. Now, yeah, that means basically you'll be able to mark it. So let's just produce this. So let's just check it. So we've got question 1 worth 1 mark, question 2 worth 2 marks, question 3, which is a calculations, worth 4 marks. And we're happy with this. So let's just try it. Let's try and send it. Now you can do a number of things to send this. You can type in their emails. It's that's a bit of a longer way to do it. I would recommend you click link. Okay, you can either copy and paste this link, or you can click the shorten URL and it will make the URL shorter, and you can just copy and paste that. Now, you will see you can copy and paste it anyway. Copy and paste that into an email. You can copy and paste it onto the page on Frog that you're wanting to use, but let's just see what this looks like. If I copy and paste this in here, so you'll be able to get sort of to see what it looks like for the students. So I can see the instructions. It's collecting email addresses. So let's imagine I was going to complete this with my, there we go, let's get that one wrong. Okay, so submit. So let's see what happens. Right, so it's basically saying, thank you, I will mark question 4 and then release your feedback. Now this is where you need to then go to your original form. Okay, now you should see, now it's come up with a response. So it's got 1 response in. So I can see that students are struggling with types of cheese. I can see that the electron question is right, and they didn't submit anything for this one. So it's a bit annoying because that was the one I wanted to mark. But what you would do is then you could in theory, let's say they'd uploaded something, you could add individual feedback saying, well done, or you did not upload anything. Okay, whatever, please. If they'd uploaded something, you could give them more specific feedback on what they got right or wrong. And then you could allocate them some marks. So, I would allocate them 0 because they did not upload anything. Okay, but if they'd uploaded something and they got 2 marks, you can allocate the 2 marks there. And then save them like so. And then what you would want to do is you would want to release their feedback to them. Hang on a sec, how do I do that again? Score. Okay, here we go. We can release. So if you're on the individual, right, here we are. So it's the individual is me, obviously with my own email address. If I, at the moment, my score is not, I've not released the score to this person, but you can press release score because you've put in the extra feedback here. You would press release score and you can say, dear Philippa, please find your feedback to your questions, and you can press send emails and release, and that will send an email to the students. Okay, you can either, you can do it as individuals or all respondents, and it will send an email with essentially their mark and their individual feedback, like so. Okay, so I hope that's sort of given you an instruction. I think just playing about with it is the best way to get to grips with it. Okay.